Hey guys, so we are going to be starting off the portfolio videos today, and I thought I'd show you guys kind of the behind the scenes of how I started planning this. Mostly these videos are going to be, I'm showing you the digital piece after I already did the brainstorming and the coloring and such, but I will show you what it looks like in my sketchbook, and I'm trying to think what else I have left to plan. There's a couple things I haven't done the sketches for yet. So you might see that process too, but at least for this first video, I already have the ideas for a couple things that are going to be covered in this video, so you're just going to be seeing the digital drawing. And I thought, yeah, I should probably tell you what we're doing. So on, I think it was Sunday or Monday, when I posted the video, I told you guys to pick between 3 different possible folktales. So that was either the Pied Piper, Jack and the Beanstalk, or Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So the correct answer was Jack and the Beanstalk. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm taking that folktale and redesigning it in a different culture and setting. So the different culture is Indonesia, because I just love the combination of colors and the different plants and environments and houses, and just their design of different art and mythology and their masks. And there's so many cool things that I wanted to take and put into a new setting, and my mind went wild with Jack and the Beanstalk. So you guys will be able to follow along as I redesign Jack and the Beanstalk in Indonesia, like, I guess more traditional old Indonesia. So let me go ahead and show you guys some of the sketches that I've put together. Oh, and don't worry, I'm announcing the winner of the print at the end of this video, so just stick around. I'll tell you who won the print for the Jack and the Beanstalk correct answer. All right, just to give you guys some perspective, I had this idea when I was kind of more out and about, so I ended up doing the initial ideas in my sketchbook, and I actually started with the giant first, because I found this Indonesian mask with these like gnarly teeth and this like really awesome like eyes and colors, and I'm like, you know what, I gotta make a giant that looks like kind of like their demon masks in Indonesia. So how I started was I started with trying to figure out the silhouette and kind of what I wanted. So I started with kind of more of a boxy shape with some bigger forearms, short legs, and I was like, oh, that's okay. And I was like, you know what if I really made the arms really big? So it was just super out of proportion, crazy big forearms, really strong forearms, and then some shorter legs. And then I was like, I'll try maybe balancing it out, like making him very top heavy. I know it's not balancing technically, but I was like, I'll make him super top heavy. So I'm like, I'll make him kind of hunched over, give him a little bit of a belly, and just give him a really commanding upper body and like smaller legs. And I'm like, it's okay. And then I started thinking of like, well, what if I made the arms smaller again and just really emphasize the hunching and seeing if I like that. I wasn't too fond of that one either. So then I was like, well, what if I make him a super tall, spindly giant, like really tall and thin, kind of like, not exactly, but kind of like Slenderman, like super long limbs, really skinny, and like super long neck. And I was like, I kind of don't like that either. So then this one, I was like, what if I made him closer, I guess, to the human proportions? I still really liked these big forearms, like big muscly forearms. So then I just did I started with a rough sketch of the bigger forearms, like you can see here. I wanted to see the leg, so that's why this forearm is kind of see-through. I wanted to see what I drew underneath. But I gave him closer to human proportions. I put in the mask that I found online and kind of like the idea for that. And then I made his forearms bigger, but kept everything pretty relatively human proportioned except for his arms. And I was like, man, I really like that. So originally this was it was a drawing similar to these, but then I developed it more and I was like, yeah, that's it right there. That's the one I like. So this is the concept for the giant that I have. So in my portfolio, I'm going to be showing kind of the process of me trying to figure out the silhouette. I'll probably redraw this silhouette, how it was before I filled in the detail, and I'll put that on the portfolio page with his final 360 design. Hey guys, and welcome to the first episode of, I guess you'd call it, my portfolio overhaul series. So if you can't already guess from the title, the correct answer for my vlog from, I think it was Sunday, was Jack and the Beanstalk. So I'm taking Jack and the Beanstalk and I am completely redesigning it and making it in Indonesia. I don't know if I already covered this. I did a couple vlogs throughout the week while I was working on this, which you'll see sprinkled throughout this episode. because certain days I was just losing my insanity and suffering from lack of sleep, and I felt like my body was working against me while I was trying to get this shit done. So I thought, what a better way to capture this moment than to vlog it. So there'll be a couple little snippets here and there of how this week was, because this is post Katelyn. This is like Thursday Katelyn. This is Katelyn after she finally got at least this video shit done. So yeah. Anyway, so this first one that I'm working on is the giant. So he's kind of inspired, originally I was thinking about what story to redo, and I was just kind of browsing through. One of the ways I get inspiration is I just literally just scroll through Pinterest, because Pinterest knows me by now and kind of knows what I like and sends me different things on the front page. And I saw this really cool like mask. It wasn't the one that it wasn't an Indonesian one, but I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, that's kind of cool. What if I made a monster that has had a similar look to some of the masks? And then I was thinking about other masks I've seen and other ones I've drawn in the past. And one of them was, I was thinking about the Indonesian masks, because they have these really gnarly, I don't know if they're demons or if they're dragons or what they are, but I'll probably throw a picture up here somewhere. There's one that's just this red, really cool mask with the teeth curved, and I don't know, it just looks really cool. And I've seen the mask a lot. And so I saw it and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be a thing. I'm gonna make that into a character. So from there I was like, okay, that's an Indonesian mask. Let me run with this. And I started brainstorming and thinking about how I can make Jack and the Beanstalk Indonesian. And I can't say like, I can't be like, I researched a bunch of folk tales to figure out which is the best one. It literally just like clicked for me. I was like, Indonesia, Jack and the Beanstalk, together, perfect. And that's literally all that happened. So I started doing some sketch concepting, and I did this one for the giant. I wanted him to look like the mask that I talked about earlier, and so I tried a couple different body shapes, which I think I cover in one of the vlogs, just to see kind of what silhouette I wanted to give him. And then after that, I found one that I sketched out that I further developed just because I liked it so much. I was like, you know, I'm just gonna finish the sketch and try it out, and I really liked that final look. So in this one, I don't know if I've gotten to it yet because I'm recording this separately. In the digital colored version, I basically took the outline of the giant and then I recolored it in a bunch of different ways and just tried out different markings, different color combinations, just to see what I liked. And while I was doing this, I was looking up different Indonesian masks and clothing and paintings and buildings, and just seeing what different patterns and such they had throughout their artwork and throughout just their culture in general. And so I took those and kind of reapplied them to the giant. I don't know if you call him like a demon giant, but I just tried some of the common colors that I saw within their masks, and then also used some of the common colors and patterns, and that's how I got these 5 different color combinations. So at first, when I actually started, I was really hard set on making the giant red. Like, I saw that one mask and I was like, man, I really want to make this guy red like this mask. And in the end, I'm really glad I did more color combinations, because I ended up liking the black one the most. I think it just really pops, and I think it'll be a really good contrast, because I'm planning on making buildings and characters and other things super colorful, just to have this big, black, menacing figure with these really bright, I guess you'd call them markings or tattoos, contrasting, and I just really liked it. Hey guys, so it is Monday night. I've been working on the new page, the giant at least, for a couple days. I haven't actually worked a lot on it, but I realized something. I went on the CTN Expo site because a friend of mine told me about it, and she told me there's due dates for some of the portfolios, which I knew. I'm like, yeah, there probably are due dates. Well, I found out most of them are like October 11th. So this week, I will keep vlogging my experiences of getting this shit done, but anticipate me having very dark baggy eyes and not a lot of sleep, because it's already the 3rd and I was trying to do a whole new portfolio. So the only way to do that is with a lot of coffee and staying up late and having a miserable work week. So yeah, this is Monday, Katelyn. You'll be seeing this on Friday. So have fun for the rest of the week, and let's see how bad Katelyn progresses as the week goes. But I'll show you guys real quick what I mean by the deadlines. So just to put in perspective, see, October 11th is when it's due. October 11th. October 11th. And these are all the ones I want to do. Everything is due October 11th, especially this one, because this is all the studios. So that's where Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and a bunch of others were. So I gotta sign up for that one for sure, and then I'll probably do Disney and Disney TV. But holy fuck, I gotta get to work. So I'm really glad I tried all these different color styles so then I could see which one was more successful, and I think that's something I need to start doing more often. I'm getting better at concepting a bit more. Sometimes I like an idea and I just run with it, and I still like how it turns out, but at the same time, I think something can become better if you give it time to kind of develop and work it and just see where you can push it and kind of push outside your comfort zone and try different things. And I think that makes better and stronger design. So overall, I really like how the giant turned out. He turned into this menacing figure that I really wanted him to be, and he also had the similar aspects to the mask that I really wanted. And his 360 turnaround was a little difficult for me, but you know, I pushed through it and kept trying, and I know I had to re-sketch it a couple times, but I like how it turned out. I feel this is one of my stronger full character concept sheets. So then next in this video, I'm gonna be doing the Beanstalk. So yeah, I'm gonna call the giant done. stamp of doneness. I don't fucking know. Just that one was, it was fun, difficult, but it was still, I like how it turned out. All right, next up, I am doing the beanstalk. So the beanstalk was not really difficult for me to think of because I just was running with this idea of Indonesia and I was just going and really getting inspired. So I was looking up what plants were native to Indonesia. So the first one I found was what's called a rainbow eucalyptus. So a rainbow eucalyptus is just this beautiful tree that has this bark that's literally, as it says, it's like rainbows. It has greens and pinks and purples and reds and blues, and there's so many colors just in the bark. So I thought, how cool would that be if that was kind of the equivalent of the giant beanstalk? So I sketched that out and colored that, and I was like, well, that's cool, but then at the same time, you know, the beanstalk, the reason why it was a beanstalk was because it had beans, and that didn't really make sense because this tree would technically need seeds, not beans. But I was like, you know what, I'll keep this here and keep thinking of other ones. So then I found another plant. I can't remember the name. It's written out at the end of when I'm painting it. It starts with a G, and it's escaping my brain. But it's this really interesting plant that I think it flowers, but the ends of it are like curled, and they sprout like a reddish looking flower, kind of like I'm trying to think what's a good equivalent. I don't know. It's like an arc that pops out through the back of this spiral shape of a plant. And there's a bunch of them all over this long stem. And it's a really gorgeous plant. So I was thinking to myself, how cool would it be if Jack is climbing up and bouncing off the back of these to try to slowly get up to the top of the beanstalk? And then again, I ran into the problem, well, what does he plant? Like, what does he get that is thrown into the ground that would sprout this particular plant? And at first I was thinking, one of the things I found when I was doing some research was these pictures of, I guess, dried out cloves. And I thought those were really pretty and would work really well for bean seeds or whatever you would want for the beanstalk. But then I was like, nah, maybe not. And so I kept researching and looking up other Indonesian plants. And then I saw the lychee tree. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the lychee would be perfect because the combination of the fruit is really colorful, and then the inside of the fruit has a brown pit that could almost be the equivalent of like a bean in a story. So what I was thinking was, when Jack goes to town to sell the cow, the guy will say, I have 3 magical lychee nuts or lychee cores or just 3 magical lychees, and maybe Jack could bring them back and they would eat the lychee and then throw out the cores, or if it's just the cores, she's like, this is useless, and throws them out, and she being his mom and just throws them out the window, and then it would sprout this giant lychee tree. And that finally made sense. I'm like, there we go. Now I have the bean or the seed that would make the giant beanstalk or the giant plant. So that's kind of the final concept I go with at the end of this video. I do the full lychee tree painting, and then I put a couple of little houses to show kind of scale. And then on the left, I also did a quick exercise of how to paint lychees, and then the inside of the lychee, and then showing what the nut or the core of the lychee looks like. So then I can be like, all right, so this is the thing he gets. It's the 3 magical beans, quote unquote, but it's lychee cores. And then this is the giant beanstalk tree thing that it sprouts. And after I got that, I'm like, there, done, set, good. That's perfect. I like that concept a lot. So I just ran with that and finished up the lychee tree. And then I called this page done because it was filled up enough. I'm not trying to overfill a page, but it's like, this gets the idea across. Like, thought of these 2, but went with this one and did this. I might clean up the houses a bit later on, but right now I'm just trying to get through more pages and just kind of showing my rough ideas to put in the portfolio review. So yeah, overall I like how it turned out. I tried going for a more painterly effect when I was doing the lychees instead of outlining every lychee fruit and every leaf on the large beanstalk tree thing. instead of doing that, I went for a more painterly approach, and I like how it looks. It's not what I'm used to, because I'm so used to just doing outlines for everything, but I still like it overall. And then, yeah, I think that's it for this one. So yeah, I think that's the end of the lychee tree. Overall, I like how it looks. I went for a more painterly approach compared to doing my usual line art and then painting. I just wanted to get a concept done quickly to show the colors and ideas that I liked, and since this is just a concept, it's not like a final rendered background for like a cartoon or anything. I thought this was a really good way to show that. So overall, I like it, and I really like this idea, and I'm excited to keep going and doing more of this mini series overhaul thing. So yeah, like it overall. Hey guys, thanks again for stopping by and checking out the first episode in like my mini portfolio series as I get my portfolio ready for CTN Expo. And as you might have seen throughout the episode, the correct folktale that I am doing is Jack and the Beanstalk. So what I did was I took everyone's comments that had the correct answer, and I put all of their names into an Excel spreadsheet and ran a random number generator to pick which line in my Excel spreadsheet was the winner. And the winner is Blazist. So if you are Blazist, if you could shoot me a message on Facebook or Twitter, and then I will send you your free Ari print. So thanks again, guys, for stopping by and checking out this episode for my portfolio overhaul. And next week, I don't know which topic I'm covering next or what characters I'm doing, because I have the list, but I haven't started any of them. So I can't say like, yes, this one will be done next. But I will have probably 2 more characters or 2 more prompts in the next video, maybe 2 to 3. And I think the final video is going to be sceneries and buildings. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you liked it or if you have any comments or feedback, and I will see you guys next Friday.